What could you do to protect your pets if you're sick or injured? My product, Save My Pet ID tag, helps you ensure that your beloved pets are safe and well cared for, even when life isn't what you expect.
Our two special guests today are here to share some specific ways to keep our pets safe before, during, and after a weather disaster. Please welcome to the show Lucy Fernandez of Austin Pets Alive and from the American Red Cross, Tracy Fox. Welcome, ladies.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. Pleasure to be here.
All right, we're going to dive in about disasters, but people are as curious as a cat to know who the heck you two are. So we're going to go with Tracy Fox for 200. You are from the American Red Cross. I know you have a very long title. Tell us what you do.
Simplify it for this.
Okay.
If anyone is like my dogs and their attention span isn't very long, I'm a national spokesperson for the American Red Cross. I've been a Red Crosser for about 15 years and happy to say dog mom to currently 2 Australian Shepherds who are both rescues and both rode out Hurricane Ian, fortunately in safe places.
Yeah. And I know they have dog ears, dog mom, so you better say their names. Say their name, say the name.
Hip is our teenagers, we call him, and then Mozzie is our baby. He's our toddler. That's just personalities. They're 2 and 3.
So what was the first one's name?
Kip.
Who?
K-I-P, Kip.
Oh, Kip. You had me at Kip. Okay, that's cool. And from the coolest city in the state of Texas, Austin, from Austin Pets Alive, we have Lucy Fernandez. Welcome to the show, Lucy. Give us your 411.
All right. So I wouldn't call it the coolest right now. Everything in Texas is hotter
Yeah, that's
than
true.
anything. But yeah, it is pretty hip, I guess, is what the kids are calling it. But yeah, so I am the senior intake diversion or PASS program manager at Austin Pets Alive. PASS stands for Positive Alternatives to Shelter Surrender.
I like that.
So we help pet parents keep their pets safe and spoiled at home, or keep them out of the shelter system. So since Texas unfortunately has the highest euthanasia rate in the country, we try to go ahead and figure out working together within each community to go ahead and help the people and their pets and that kind of thing.
I like that program, PASS. And what's the home life with you? How many pets? What do you have?
So don't tell my landlord.
Everybody.
Don't tell my landlord, but yeah. So I have a senior dachshund. It's actually my partner's dog, but I've inherited to taking over the duties of making sure he's fed and spoiled. We have a senior dachshund, a terrier named Noah, and then we have the 4 kitties, Das Bluffenstein, who I adopted from the cat cafe. It's no longer in Austin, but so yeah, Das Bluffen. And then I have Sweet Caroline. She's a double amputee. She was born with, she doesn't stop her. She's the hardest one to crate. And we have stairs to accommodate her. And then her brother from another litter, Boogie, who is a tripod and a ginger. And it turns out the one brain cell he had was amputated. And then we have Beetlejuice, who's our house panther. Anytime we go ahead and bring a foster into the home, she poops in the sink to protest and let us know that she's.
Well, I'm glad your partner doesn't do that in protest. That always makes it better, right?
But luckily, my partner, she's also in rescue, so we kind of can put up with a lot of things that most civilians and regular pet owners.
I'm seeing a theme here with the songs and movies for 200. Don't you see that too, Tracy? With Lucy's
Absolutely.
Pets?
I'm loving the names.
I love the names. All right. I love that you both are here because on May 28th in beautiful Dallas, I live in Little Forest Hills, hence the name Forest Hills. And we're right near the downtown area, near this beautiful arboretum. And we have big yards with old trees. And 3 of my neighbors' trees came flying down in our yard. And I'm in a backyard office, appropriately called Ard's Den. And a big tree branch fell on top of this. We have a big metal structure where we have the grills and everything. That got walloped like it was nothing. And here we are huddled, my wife, Julie, and the furry Brady Bunch, huddled in the inside closet of our master bedroom. But we have done disaster drills. And it hit us before 7 a.m. And the cats are in carriers. The dogs are with their harnesses. And my wife did have a bottle of Pinot Grigio with twist top. And I said, it's a little too early. And we had the radio going, but it hit us with 80 miles an hour winds. And people say, oh, it wasn't a tornado. Well, maybe it is, because the trees that fell in our neighborhood fell in all different directions. Come on. You've done hurricanes. You've done tornadoes. Ladies, is that a tornado?
It doesn't matter what they call it. The destruction's the same.
That's right.
I've seen Wizard of Oz, so I confirm that is.
Hurricane Katrina started it all off, for those with a good memory. And people realize many of us are not going to leave our pets behind. Now, from the national level, then we'll go to the state level. From the national level, Tracy, we've come a long way since Hurricane Katrina. Can you give us a little idea about, I know you all have an app, and you also have on your website, a good little checklist. Do you want to talk about that?
Sure. And we have come a long way. The number one issue we had when we would have a big disaster and we would go out in the community and ask people, why would you stay home? Why wouldn't you come to our shelters? The number one reason was always, I couldn't leave my pets. I'm not going to leave my pets behind. I didn't know what to do with my pets. And so we have worked really hard as an organization and with all of our partners in the communities to find alternatives, to find either shelters where you can be with your pets and they just stay with you. My husband was number one dog walker after Hurricane Ian.
Good man.
Shelter and just check on folks. Or maybe you're staying in one building, your pets stay in a separate building so you can still visit and care for them. Or the third option that we've developed is where we work with local partners, like a humane society, for example, and the pets can stay there safely. They're cared for by the staff and volunteers there, but at least you know where they are and you're safe and your pets are safe. And as you said, I mean, the key is really preparedness, and it's for people and for pets. So get your checklist, have your little go bag. I have my little duffel bag here for the boys.
Is there any Pinot Grigio in there?
There is not. That's in my go bag. This is just for them. I mean, you want to think about things like extra leads just in case, extra collars, make sure everything has your name and phone number, tape the normal food that they would have, bowls for food and water, treats. If you have like a little blanket that they love or
that has their scent on it,
a loved toy, anything that will help them feel safe and comfortable, like it's more home-like, all of that can help when there's all of this craziness. And one of the biggest things that I think I just like to share with everybody is practice.
Yeah.
If your cats, for instance, aren't used to being in carriers, if your dogs aren't used to being in harnesses or even on leads, I mean, like here at my house, the dogs are out in the backyard. It's a fenced backyard. So make sure you practice getting everybody ready to evacuate. It's great that you guys were able to stay safe in your home, but if you do have to evacuate, make sure that you know what the process is. You've got everything ready to go and the animals are used to it. And then it's not as stressful to anybody.
Yeah. And we actually do drills ourselves, and it's kind of fun. The cats are more cooperative than the dogs. No, I'm teasing. They're all really good. Hey, everybody. We are speaking with Tracy Fox from the American Red Cross, and we're going to be diving into what's going on in Austin with Lucy Fernandez of Austin Pets Alive. But we got to take this break. So you all know the drill. Sit, stay. We'll be right back.
Hey, have you heard? Four-Legged Life has a new digital newsletter. Here, let me show you how you get yourself subscribed. So you just type in Four-Legged Life, and that'll take you to the website. There we go. And this magic thing just appears, and you type in your email address. I'll use, let's see, how about coolestdogever@gmail.com. That's me. And then you just click on this thing here. There you go. It's the new digital newsletter from Four-Legged Life. Get subscribed today.
Hey, Pet Pals, welcome back to the Four-Legged Life Show. I'm your host, Arden Moore. We're digging into being prepared for weather disasters. Mother Nature cannot always be a good person or good being, and we know it. Just turn on the TV. We're going to now dive into what's going on a local level, and that is with a group called Austin Pets Alive. And with us from that organization is Lucy Fernandez. Lucy, tell us a little bit about Austin Pets Alive. I love the name.
Yeah. So thank you so much for having me again. So Austin Pets Alive, as our mission, is that we are the largest rescue partner for Austin Animal Center, which is our municipal partner here. But we basically make customized programs that to assist with the highest vulnerable populations of pets in Texas. So unfortunately, with Texas having such a high euthanasia rate, we kind of look at, what does the data tell us? Okay, so it's typically ringworm cats. We're getting euthanized for it. Feline leukemia, barn cats, parvo puppies, a neonatal nursery that we built because of neonates were at risk and orphaned kittens and puppies. So we went ahead and constructed these different programs to go ahead and help with this sort of divide and conquer so that we can go ahead and save those most vulnerable populations.
So let's talk about disasters. So you're teaming up with the American Red Cross. I love that it's being a collaborative effort nowadays, right?
Yeah. So we just rolled out a partnership with the Central Texas Red Cross.
Okay.
And they cover, I think it's like 8 or 9 counties, including Travis County, which is where we're at. So the plan and the idea behind it is that obviously they have this massive infrastructure of amazing volunteers, frontline staff that go out when disaster strikes, whether it's flooding, fires, etc. And they'll go ahead and triage and help people and try to get them into safety or whatever. And then if there is a situation where a lot of the times the pets, their belongings or their food or their crates or something like that have been gone in that disaster or whatever, we can go ahead and step in and help with those types of things so that they can go ahead and focus on the human part. We can go ahead and focus on the animal part. If people don't have the plan in place, which unfortunately happens more oftentimes than not. So we can go ahead and fill that gap so that the animals have a safe place to land, don't end up in the shelter.
And Tracy, you're from the American Red Cross. What's your take on groups like Austin Pets Alive, the fact that you all are working together now?
Oh, yeah. I mean, what they do is tremendous. And what we really focus on is, because we are a national organization, finding those local partners like Austin Pets Alive, like Gulf Coast Humane Society here in Fort Myers, finding those local partners who know the communities, who are doing great work for the pets day in and day out. And then we want to come in and kind of shore them up. And as Lucy said, fill that gap and make sure that the people are taken care of as well as the pets. So we're really working to do this more and more in communities all over the country.
So let's talk about preparedness. You mentioned the bag that you have for your dogs, Tracy, and I'm sure with your musical and movie themed pets that you have at your home, Lucy, you have done the same thing. But let's get into the mind of a pet. I am a fear-free certified speaker. I've written a lot of books on behavior. They smell our fear. They smell our... So what's a tip or two, I'm going to ask each one of you, we'll start with Lucy, that you can do to help our dogs or cats when Mother Nature is knocking on our door, how we corral them so they don't go flying around?
Yeah, so that's a great question. Unfortunately, though, in some of the cases that I've worked before, it's either the owner is incapacitated to can't make those choices, and then or also the animal's injured and the owner can't afford to get the services and support for their animal. So a lot of that is in that preparedness mindset, right? So like basically writing a dating bio for your animal so that if anything does happen, and then they need to, like, the Red Cross is out there and they're trying to do their thing and get the human help. Okay, well, we need to figure out placement for this animal so that it doesn't have to go to a shelter, which we don't know what's going to happen. So having that dating bio, that's what I like to call it.
So how do you do that? Because obviously they hopefully still have their collar. They definitely should have their microchip ID updated. How does the rescuers find out about I think you have a dachshund named Noah, right? No,
yes.
Is that right? Yeah, Noah.
Yeah.
How do they find out about Noah?
So typically if you just say, okay, my animal stuff is in the bag, or please let me, that kind of thing. Like sometimes people will have like a fire kit, like a safe or fire bag or something like that.
Yeah.
Like their birth certificate, that your animal's bio should be there as well, or even in your cell phone. And just having that of like, what are they allergic to? What kind of, are they on any medications? What is your vet? What is your local vet? Like having all those things, those records, so that they do need to find placement with a foster or a boarding facility or something like that. A lot of times boarding facilities, like, you can't, if you're not up to date on vaccinations, where do I find those vaccines? You know what I mean? So like kind of looking at prepping the nuance so that if there is an emergency, if you're incapacitated, that plan can be, or if you have an emergency contact, great, call my aunt. She can go ahead and, you know what I mean? Because lot of people have like wills for themselves and their children or whatever, but they don't have any sort of
But
plan
our
in place
pets
for
are
their
our
animal.
kids. Yeah.
1,000%, right? So just having that kind of thing so that you have the sort of that plan in place for your pets, just in case.
And,
because-
yeah. And what about from your perspective, Tracy? Because I got a scared cat or a nervous dog. Any tips?
I will go back to the preparedness and planning and practicing getting everybody ready. And if you do it when you're calm and you're relaxed, like you said, the animals pick up on that, make it into a little bit more of a game. So then when it does become the time to really evacuate or shelter in place, then it's not quite as scary. I mean, they're animals. They're great. They're going to pick up on whatever mom and dad are going through, but it will be at least a little bit easier. And Lucy gave some great tips and an easy way to track all of that. Just snap pictures of vaccination records or your vets. So you've got it all on your phone and you can just swipe through and have those photos and all of that information quickly at hand.
So we've got about 3 minutes left. I want to ask each one of you, have you been through a natural disaster with your pets and lessons learned? Who wants to go first?
My pets. So I was in Washington, D.C. during Ian. That was the last major hurricane here in Florida. And my pets were not with me yet. They were both, one was with his first previous owner and one was actually in foster. He was with a fabulous rescue group that kept, I think there were 10 or 12 dogs and 3 people in a closet, kept everybody safe. And they both rode out the hurricane. So they're kind of pros at this. They're experts. They know the drill. They see mom gets the bag ready and we're prepping for hurricane season. But again, I just try to make sure that they've got something fun, something comfortable, something familiar, whether it's a toy, a blanket, your clothes, that sort of thing. And having seen the aftermath in our shelter at the Hertz Arena here in Fort Myers, it was such a relief to the people, maybe even more so than the pets, that, hey, my dogs are here with me. My cat is right here in the carrier under my bed.
Pets
And
do a body good.
knowing everybody could be together was fantastic. It was great to see that we've been able to come that far.
I love it. How about for you, Lucy?
Yeah, I've been fortunate enough to have like a support network so that if and when the stuff hits the fan, that I've had people that I have my little village in case of emergency squad for things like that. And I'm pretty blessed to be in the rescue space so that we have.
You all help each other, right?
Right. But I have handled multiple cases with situations like that. Most recently, there was one in Bastrop. A home went up in flames, and the first responder folks through Red Cross went ahead and had the owner submit the form. We have an emergency form with them. They let us know about it. And they were able to get her in housing with their dogs at a temporary hotel stay. And then we were able she got into another housing situation, but she needed to have her animals fixed and vaccinated and to get supplies and stuff like that. So we were able to provide that. We worked with Save an Angel, which is a local low-cost they're a low-cost spay and neuter clinic out there in Bastrop County. So we kind of divided and conquered it. And so she was able to without sort of too many hitches and stuff like that. So just a lot of collaboration, communicating, just making sure that funnel is pretty smooth so that we can start to finish. It doesn't take too long.
Have you now? We have on our door for the firefighters. How many cats and dogs we have? Is that still a good thing, ladies, to do?
Absolutely.
Now, there's another people that do these tags that save my pet ID, where I have it on my keychain, and it says if I get hit in an accident or I'm separated from my pets. By the way, at my home, there are 2 dogs and 4 cats. I'm trying to think of some other ideas you might want to share.
Yeah. The past program, we have a resource guide. When you go to our Austin Pets Alive website, you can go to Pet Help, and then there's a resource guide. It's in English and in Spanish.
Awesome.
They
Bueno.
both have, bueno. Yeah, exactly. Because pet lovers aren't just English only, right? So just having access to that common sense of things. In one of those, there's a PDF in the doc format of the Red Cross, like one-sheeter. And so like kind of having that, like I said, just print it out, laminate it, put it wherever. And because that's like making that common sense about your animal to make sure that there's a safe plan in place.
I like that. So how do people find out more, Lucy, about Austin Pets Alive?
Yeah, so you can follow us on Instagram. But the past Facebook community is how it's basically a mutual aid. So people can go ahead and ask for help for their pets, and then people
Okay.
can go ahead and help. So we've had like angel donors help support for like medical
Nice.
things. Yeah, I love those guys. So it's a lot of connecting the dots. And when we manage cases, sometimes there's some sensitive
Okay.
topics and things we'll post on behalf of an owner, that kind of thing. So it's just a really great network and support.
And
And,
it's
there's a lot of
Austin-
rehoming and stuff. Like
It's
Austin Pets Alive. Yeah,
say the website if you don't mind.
Yeah, so austinpetsalive.org is the main mothership website. The past program has a Facebook community where we do the mutual aid kind of stuff.
I like
So
that. And how
yeah.
about for you, Tracy, for the American Red Cross? You're a little bit bigger.
Sure. We've got redcross.org, and there's great information, preparedness information that you can find out there. And then we also have two separate apps. We have an app for pet first aid, and we also have the broader emergency app that keeps you aware of any kind of potential disasters in your area. It's a great place. You can just click through for reminders on how to prepare and keep your information ready.
You guys are so hip. I love it. All right. Hey, I have been honored today to have on our show two people dedicated to keeping us and our pets safe. We have had Lucy Fernandez from Austin Pets Alive and Tracy Fox from the American Red Cross.
Thanks so much for making our tails wag by watching this guest interview from Arden Moore's Four-Legged Life. Make sure to subscribe so you're up to date with all of our Four-Legged Life content.